Good morning. So, we are 3 days post show. It is Wednesday, the 3rd of September, and I am 3 days post show, 4 days out from PCA Manchester. So, an interesting week so far. You know, Sunday, I took my class win, like I said in my last YouTube. Fucked off the weight classes and then the overall. Read my show report and they were disappointed that I left because I'd have done that. Apparently I would have done damage in the weight classes and in the overall. So when you see them things, you're like, maybe I should have hung around. But it was my warm up show. I went there with the intention to take my class win and get my head back down for Manchester, which kind of was what I did. Obviously, I went out for a meal on Sunday night, went for some Greek food with Chantel, which was lovely, very, very nice, to just have a moment of real life after 17 weeks of watching her eat on if we went out for some food. Obviously, it doesn't really bother me at all. I know some people would probably be like, how can you go out and watch your partner or your friends eat food like pizzas and things like that? It just doesn't faze me because obviously this is what I want to do right now. And I enjoy seeing people get enjoyment out of food because I get enjoyment out of food. And at the moment, I get enjoyment out of certain meals that I eat. So it doesn't really faze me. So we had some Greek food. I then had a bowl of cereal afterwards. I had some Crunchy Nuts clusters. And I woke up on Monday morning 6 kilo above what I weighed in 2 days before the show. So a lot of water weight was held. So my head fell off a little bit. Martin obviously leveled me out and was like, no, you're okay. We just need to make sure this week we're bang on the money to pull that water weight back down. So we're back in the position we were in last week. So yesterday morning, I was 2 kilo down from 103, so it was 101. And this morning, I'm another 2 kilo down. I'm 99.4, I think I was. So another 2 kilo. So we've only really got to pull off now another 2 kilo, and we're back kind of the position we were in prior to the BPA. But obviously, this weekend is the one which matters. Obviously, we're going in to win, but mainly we're going in for qualification. The biggest shows for me this year are I want to be competitive at Two Bros. So I've got Two Bros at the end of this month. And then I also have the British Finals coming through the mid to end of October for Two Bros or PCA, whichever one I decide to do because we're on the same weekend. Just got my double espresso as well. So what the plan's been this week in order for me to pull that weight down. We've been running Peak Max and a product called Expel, which I like Expel. I don't use it a lot with my own clients because it's hard to get hold of. Luckily, I have a contact in the States who can send me some. And it's a natural diuretic alongside Peak Max. Works really, really well. So we've been running Expel alongside Peak Max. We ran vitamin C quite high, 5 grams a day. So I'm pissing like a racehorse at the moment, drinking 10 litres at least. But I don't count energy drinks, coffee, anything like that. So I'm probably more like 12 litres. My caffeine intake isn't too high. Well, saying that, I'm sat here with coffee. But, you know, a couple of double espressos in the morning. And then I'm not having a stim pre. I'm just having some form of energy drink, and that's me done for the day. I mean, it's just juice and water. We've done a 0 carb day yesterday. So my net carbs were like 4 grams, something like that. Literally just meat and almond butter was pretty much all I ate yesterday, which was fine. I trained legs as well, which was a bit ruthless. And then I've got pull today, and again 0 carb today. So I'm flattening out quite nicely, ready for this weekend, so we can do it all again. And we're in a good little spot. I feel more confident day by day because my body's come back to life. I'm finding it quite difficult to flex my legs for some reason. I don't know where this has come from, but like the last week, from peak week last week, my legs just, I'm struggling to hold them flexed. So I don't know what it is, but hopefully, you know, once this water weight comes off, I can just hold a little bit harder. and we'll see him. But we'll just work with that this week. A few people said to me, your top of your quads just weren't coming through on stage. And then when I've been posing them, I feel the same. But I know there's a lot of water there, so we just got to pull that water down, get ourselves in a good position for this week, and we'll move off the back of that. So we're going to train pull today. I'm going to film a bit of it. Don't know who I'm training with. It could be Cal, it could be my brother. And we've got a couple of new machines in play in the gym, so I'm looking forward to play on them, even on zero carb. It's not going to be a session I'm going to film and talk over too much, I don't think. I might talk, I might not. I might just headphone in and just put some music over it so you can just see what I did. But a bit of a pump work list today, some posing, see what goes on. I've got a call with ESN today as well. So obviously he sent me my welcome pack last week. He spoke to me on the weekend after I won. And then I've got a call with him today to discuss, if there's a partnership available there or whether we suit each other. So that is the plan today, which will be quite exciting. So I'm not going to train till around about probably lunchtime today, so I'll get 2 meals in first. I've got egg whites for meal 1 with some veg, and then I've got chicken and almond butter for meal 2. And chicken and almond butter, it's just like a satay chicken. It's fucking class. So I'm looking forward to that. Food was sound yesterday because it's protein and fats. Carbs really heighten my appetite and make me want more food, whereas protein and fats don't tend to. So when I have done fat adapted diets before in the past, and I've always found they work really well for mental clarity as well. I didn't feel too fucked yesterday. It's mental, isn't it? I'm on 2,000 calories, running no carbs, and my actual mental ability was actually quite high. Physically I was still exhausted, but my brain was working quite well. But other than that, the only other things which are going on is obviously I've got 3 weeks after this weekend till my next show. So we kind of did a little bit of naughtiness on the weekend because I thought, you know what, there's not much, Martin said to me, have a dessert afterwards, and I couldn't think of what I wanted, so I just had some cereal. And obviously I can't get, Amira or anyone to sort of just like on a whim bake me baked goods. So we ordered some baked goods for this weekend coming, so we can sort of enjoy some food post-show. Obviously I'm going to go for a meal with friends and family post-show. It'll be a later day today, so it's actually easier to manage a later day because you just get 1 meal in and you go to bed. And my food the rest of the day will be pretty much staying the same. I'm going to make a couple of cream of rice meals for PCA because it will be a long day. We've got Henry competing after me, so I'm doing novice bodybuilding again because I can this year. That's why I'm sticking to the novice classes, and as well it allows me to keep my full focus on Henry, whereas if I did open heavies this year with Henry and we're in the same class, it's just I feel like I'd be juggling too many balls, and it's like I want to be able to see him compete as well. I will be on stage with him at some point this season, but for the first one it was like, no, I want to be out in the audience. I want to see what package we're unveiling and be there as a coach, because my class will be on 3rd on Sunday. He's on about 8th, so we'll already have written up the blueprints anyway, so we know exactly what he's doing hour by hour. But then as soon as I finish my class and I get off stage, I still have over 40s, over 50s, classic short, classic tall, short, medium, then tall. So there's 6 classes before he's on. So that's at least an hour for me to keep an eye on him, see what we're looking like. If we need to drip in a little bit more food, we will. Highly unlikely because PCA runs earlier. So he's going to be on stage about 11:30, 12 o'clock. We'll have had both meals in by probably 10:30 anyway, so when the show starts. So the only thing I want to see is when I come off stage at around about 11:30, an hour before he goes on stage, is just how he's looking, and be like, right, we're hardening up, bit of flexing, maybe a little bit of a pump product before we go, and we're pretty much bang on the money for what we need to do. A few sweets backstage if we need them, just to sort of help get that blood where we need it to go, or dark chocolate, and we go from there. So I'll take my meals with me because he's also going to be over me overall. I'm highly confident we're going to take a decent sort of win this weekend. He looks insane, as he always does, but the thing with Henry is he doesn't really believe he's as good as he is. And, you know, he's going to hate me saying that because he still sees himself as, you know, a novice slash first timer, when in reality he's a very competitive open men's bodybuilder. And the more we compete this year and into next year, more people are going to be terrified of seeing his name on the sheet before they get on stage, and he's going to scare people off doing shows. So what do we have here? We have a cookie dealer order. So if any of you guys know, in 2022 when I last competed, I quite like these. So we've got, and actually the better portion controls now are actually smaller. So as you can see there, let me just move that down. We got 6 cookies. So, and why did you get 6, Luke? Because portion control. No, it's because you know more than 5. So, and you can't do an odd number. You got to do 6. So what did we go for? So, white Reese's. That's going to be frozen. That's going in the freezer. That's not for now. We've got pistachio Kinder. That's staying out for the weekend. We've got orange Terry's. That's Chantel's. That's nothing to do with me. Poor choice in my opinion. We've got cookies and cream. Again, not particularly my cup of tea. Then we talk about my number, fucking red velvet. Red fucking velvet. So pistachio Kinder and red velvet on mine. Then we've got Kinderella, which is also Chantel's. So I've got a white Reese's to go in the freezer, and then I've got my pistachio Kinder and my red velvet. So I'll keep 2 out. They'll probably get done Sunday, Monday, and then it'll be right back on the grind for me for the 2 Bro show at the beginning of October. Obviously, with a little bit of a rebound this week, I did plan to do the IBFA at the end of the month. I would still like to do the IBFA show. However, I think I'm going to do no peak for it at all. I'm literally going to run in as a training week, and on the Sunday, train as a training day. You know, have a high carb breakfast, and just have my pump product, get a pump, and go on stage. I'm not going to peak anything. I might not even tell Martin because he's not going to watch this, because I might just literally just go, show up, fucking do it, and take the win and come home. But yeah, so that's what we're doing today. I'm going to keep you updated with what's going on through the week. But it's a typical peak week, but with 0 carbs. So that's a 14-minute intro, guys. So I won't bore you too much. I'll keep you updated with the day and how we're getting on. Right guys, it is time to go to the gym. We've got to do pull on 0 carb. I've had egg whites this morning, chicken breast and almond butter. So I am feeling rather ropey to get a good session in. Highly, we have pre-workout. We have ESN's pre, and we have 1 source subs pump to go down. So hopefully they will give me a kick up the arse. We're going to get in and out. It's going to be an hour session. We're going to do some rear delts, some upper back, and then on some lats. So we're going to do 1 rear delt, 2 upper back, mid back, and then 3 lat. Then I've got to do a bit of biceps afterwards. Probably throw out 2,000 steps when I'm there, because then that'll take me over 10k and it's midday. So that means this afternoon I literally do not have to chase steps at all. I can just get my general steps, go for a walk later, going up to my M&S, the big one, so that'll give me a couple thousand steps. And just have a chill day, because if any of you ever ran 0 carb before, I get really good mental clarity from it, because carbs aren't like fucking mustering my brain. But my physical energy is absolutely zapped, but the physique is coming back to life. I'll put some shots here.
and I'm really happy with how we're looking now. I feel a little bit more confident for this weekend. So run 0 carb today. Martin will probably run me at baseline tomorrow, and then we'll start the load again Friday. Probably be a little bit more conservative because of what happened last week. The load wasn't the issue, but I just think he might run me a little bit lower just to hold the look. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm going to film a little bit of this with Toby.
So guys, here we are in for pull. Toby joined me today, which was great. Always helps massively on peak week for me, having someone who I trust to train with me, because they will literally just keep me on track, not distract me, and change the weight, make sure that I'm doing exactly what I need to be doing, not going too close to failure, but still getting the blood where it needs to go. So it was good. And as you know, I'm a very nostalgic, sentimental human in my older age, so I love training my brothers, my close friends, and doing what I do. I'm coaching Toby and coaching my close friends. It's always nice to get a session in just to sort of make sure everything they're doing as well is exactly how I want them to do it. Toby's pretty efficient these days. You know, I've trained him for so long, and he's trained himself for so long. He knows exactly what he's doing. Where I can chase load, where he can chase load, and it just works really well. So we started off with some rear delts, to be fair, but we didn't film that, and then moved on to some lats, and we did some upper back first, and then we moved on to some lats. As you can see here with now the nitro. Again, literally just focusing on that squeeze in the short position. We're not getting too long at the top, just because we're not trying to generate any fatigue now. All we're trying to do is push every last bit of energy, well, carbohydrates, into the tissue, squeeze the fuck out of it, and get what we can from the session. And that's exactly what we did. I still love this pull down. I think the angle of it just really isolates the lats better than anything else. We do have the plate loaded version, which is great. However, I still think the pin loaded nitro is the absolute goat of pull down machines, and it just shows here. So here we go, just finishing off this set. Toby set again, just focusing on the movement. He's currently between phases himself. He's just finished a dieting phase. We're going to do a push-up phase very, very soon. And so for him, we're just focusing again. He's just following my lead. Just, you can grow anyway, guys. It's just going to failure. Your muscle doesn't know load. Your muscle knows failure. Whether you fail at 6 reps or you fail at 12 reps, it is good to make sure we hit all angles across the form of the training program. You don't always have to be doing a JP style top set back off. So that's exactly what we did. We just focused around the 8 to 15 rep range mark for this session, which helped me massively. As I've said multiple times on the video already, I am 0 carb here today. So my energy is zapped. Mental energy is quite good because fats are a little bit higher, but physically I am absolutely drained, hence why my head's down, thinking probably about a carbohydrate and not thinking about, do I need to spot Toby, which, you know, to be fair, he can do it himself. He's a big boy. So once we'd finished lats off, we moved on to some biceps, started with some hammer curls. Again, I just find the hammer curl is a great movement to sort of really isolate the bicep and get some blood in there. Once we'd finished that, we moved on to a little bit more of a shortened movement, because again, like I said, we're not focusing on the lengthened part of training at all right now. It's just focus on the pump. And there we go, just a quick check to make sure I'm coming in. Weight is on its way down, which is great. So like where I look with the pump, and loads of fluid. I think we're going to run more fluid into peak week this week, because I just fill out. I just look about 10 pounds bigger, so water depletion isn't going to happen, I don't think. Then we moved on to some preacher curls. Again, working the biceps in a bit more of a flex position, so a shortened position, which allows us to get peak contraction but not overstretch the biceps, which again is going to generate muscle soreness, DOMs, which is kind of what we're trying to avoid. So we did 3 sets on here. We did 2 sets of around about 8 to 15. And then we literally finished off on a lighter set and focused on peak contraction. So when we hit that peak contraction, we just aim to hold it for 2 seconds and really squeeze the shit out of the biceps. Once this was done, we had a little nosy opening on the posing room. Obviously, I've come down 4 kilo since Monday, so the look is coming back to life. And as you can see here, the striations in my quads are back, my abs are back in, and the vascularity is kind of popping back through my upper body, which is exactly what I wanted. So hopefully, coming into Thursday, we can drip feed in a bit more food. But if I've got to go low again today, I don't really care. I've just got to be perfect for a weekend, so all good. Again, not struggling to get into poses. Obviously, I've hurt my foot, so my side poses are still a little bit uneasy. Do not buy new sliders, guys, a week out from a show and then wear them, and you end up with a bruised foot, and you can't put pressure on one of your toes, which you need to do in order to pose properly. Glutes are still not 100% there. Right now it isn't essential because we've got a long season ahead. My goal is to have my glutes absolutely on fire for 2 rows, because that's the one I want to peak for. That is the pinnacle of British bodybuilding, so we still have 4 weeks from this point to get that in, but we're lean enough, we're good. So yeah, thank you for watching this, and we'll catch up when I see you.
So traditionally, this is something we do every prep we've done with Pen. It's like, I take charge of the back feed, and not really good position this year, we're going to go I couldn't do lower body because I've not got enough time in the day to do this already, so yeah. Right guys, so we are wrapping up today. So 0 carb again. Net carbs are about 33 grams, all from vegetables and a few blueberries. Obviously the last couple of days have been tough, 2 0 carb days, but body is responding well, like I said earlier. So I just wanted to show you my second to last meal. So we have courgettes and chicken with almond butter, 30 grams of almond butter, which is surprisingly really good. I fucking love almond butter, so I actually prefer this to like if I was having a rice meal, but obviously I could do with some carbohydrates right now. I've got my last of my 10 litres as well, so I've done 10 litres today. I'll have a decaf coffee as well sat later, so I'll be over my 10 litres. So I'm hoping I wake up in the 98s in the morning, crispy, dry, and good to go. So that's a plan. I've just took a T3 and a Bit C. I think I've got one more Peak Max to have or something like that today, just to wash off a little bit more fluid, but I am pissing like a racehorse. So yeah, I'm going to chill after this, put my feet up. It's been a relatively chilled day, but not too chilled. And then tomorrow's a busy day, so I'll get back to my morning. No YouTube tomorrow. I'm going to do on Friday, and then we'll do one. Literally, we're going to do a joint. So Henry and I have Robbie coming with us to the show on Saturday. So he's going to literally film all Saturday afternoon and all show day for us, which will be really cool. So that's the plan this week. So hopefully by Monday next week there'll be 3 YouTube videos out throughout this weekend. So make sure you're watching mine and Henry's because they're both quite similar but also a different perspective. Coach, athlete, friends and things like that. So let's just see how it goes. Anyway, I'm going to talk into this. So fuck off and I'll see you in a day or 2.